We stepping slow at dawn, mystic journeys on the door. Boots still muddy from the trail, we bring the woods inside the floor. Woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word, don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see, we begin where we are. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. Out past the cedar line we kneel where the chanterelles hide. Bitter greens and rosemary, moon white stems in soil and pine. Someone names the healing leaf, someone knows the mushroom sign. Someone tells a grand old tale, and we pass it down in time. Don't assume the wound is yours, don't invent the cloud. Speak with care and listen deep, let the circle be proud. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. And if the week has worn us thin, we bring it to the table. Soup and stories, cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jars, in our names. Every act of gentle care turns the dark into a flame. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys we belong. For agreements, for bright stones, we keep walking, we stay strong. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys sing it on. Grateful hands and open doors, we are many, we are one. We are many, we are one. Mystic journeys hold us close, mystic journeys hold us close.
Welcome to Mystic Journeys with HB, Derek, and Nerdy. What's up, everyone? How are you?
How's it going, guys? Happy to be
I
here.
love the new intro. That is really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of gives me a little bit of Bishop Briggs vibes, a little bit of Fleetwood Mac, kind of, right? Like it a little bit.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah,
how
we
much
definitely need.
Cool.
Nerdy loves AI. You know.
Yeah, generated. It's very cool. I've been learning how to play it on guitar, switch the lyrics around a little bit, so we're kind of creating it into a real thing. It's pretty cool.
It's definitely nice. I definitely like the lyrics. They're spot on.
Very cool. I don't know if you guys can quite see. I'm wearing Nerdy's
I, I
mushroom
recognize that.
dyed
Oh, that's
shirt. You can see it, especially here on the bottom.
The bottom is
Yeah, it's pretty
lichen,
cool.
and that liken's still holding up. That's nice. A
Yeah,
lot of my
super
other
nice.
shirts I've already washed out like pretty badly, but yours is one of the newer ones I did, and it's holding up good. That's nice. Okay.
Holding up pretty good, man. I like it. Derek, where you at, buddy? So you got a different background this time.
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles, and I got out here. I got on a plane at 8 something this morning, and then I flew to Atlanta, and then I left Atlanta. I had a little hangover there, layover. I mean, not hangover.
No hangover. Drink a lot.
I got off the plane and went to the bar, right?
We're straight to the bar. That's what I like.
So
Well,
I left Atlanta though at like 11 a.m. and then I got in Los Angeles at like 12 something because of the time
okay,
difference. So
right.
that was pretty cool. And tomorrow being 4th of July, I'm going to a party in Watts, and
Cool,
it's
dude.
gonna be a
Have
great time.
fun. Have
Yeah,
fun, man.
yeah.
Like I said, make sure to take lots of pictures and videos for us. But yeah, having folks on having a good time too. It's 6 o'clock over there for where you're at right now, so you're kind of a little ahead of us. Nice, huh? Sun's not even going down for you. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you have some fun.
Derek, what's up with
I
you,
will.
man? I mean, not
I'm gonna
Derek, but Nerdy.
head into the dispensary soon.
Hmm.
Cool. Today? Later today?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Right on, brother. Cool.
Well, I've
Yeah,
been
what's up with you, Nerdy?
working on trying to figure out an alternative for Rocky Mountain Mush Fest because right now Rocky Mountain Mush Fest is on fire. And so I've been looking at alternatives, and I think I found one. It's closer to Colorado Springs, so people that are flying in will have an easier time getting there. But it's going to be there's camping options that are about $15 a pop per night. If you need help camping, just let me know. Colorado Michael League has a little bit extra funding. The campsites has running water, bathrooms. I think it's pit toilets, but it's still bathrooms and running water. So we're gonna make the most of it. And
Okay.
some people have already gotten Airbnbs there. I was just threw the idea out there, and they were like, "Okay, you already got a B&B. Just let me know." I was like, okay, I guess it's gonna happen out there. So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay. Good luck, man.
But yeah, there's a lot happening at once. I'm just trying to, juggle a lot.
Day
And
by day, man. That's all you can do. Do your best. Moment to moment, it's gonna vary. Kind of, the way to be is like you can't. It's like formlessness, It's not gonna work out the way you wanted to work out. You just got to go a different direction, find out a different route, different plan. It's fate, really, right? It kind of guides us that way.
yeah,
It's all fate, dude.
and this is a part of Colorado where I've been foraging with Alan Rockefeller, and it should be a good pick for an all around good time.
Cool.
We're not too far out in the middle of nowhere. We're just like there's a Walmart nearby, so
Cool.
we should have a good time.
Got everybody in the chat. Oreo, got David, married. Got Leroy's in here. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. Make sure you switch to all chat too so you can see everybody's messages. And hit the like. We got a 5 agreement reading today. We got a little bit of talk on the Tibetan Book of the Dead. We talked about the Egyptian Book of the Dead. We'll talk a little bit about the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and we'll talk a little bit about Carl Jung's interpretation of it. He's a very unique-minded person. Somebody I try to look at and see, get a different perspective on life from. So, and then we have some cool nature stuff to talk about as well too. But we'll start off with the agreements reading. Where we left off was don't make assumptions. And now we are going to talk about symbolism and the power of belief. The symbol of Santa Claus. We're on chapter 6 on page 71 here. You guys got anything else before we get rocking and rolling?
I'm ready.
So, all right. There was a time in your life when you were completely owned the power of your belief, but you were educated to be part of humanity. The power of your belief went into all of those symbols that you learned. And at a certain point, the symbols gained power over you. In truth, the power of your belief went into everything that you know. And since then, everything that you know has ruled your life. Obviously, when we were little children, we were overcome by the power of everyone else's beliefs. The symbols are a wonderful invention, but we are introduced to symbols with the opinions and beliefs already there. We ingest every opinion without questioning if it's true or not. And the problem is that by the time we master our language, with all the opinions that we hear growing up, the symbols already have power of our belief. This isn't good or bad or right or wrong. It's just the way it is, and it happens to all of us. We are learning to become we are learning to be a member of our society. We learn a language, we learn a religion or a philosophy, we learn a way of being, and we structure our whole belief system on everything we are told. We have no reason to doubt what other people tell us until the first heartbreak happens and we find out that something they told us isn't true. We go to school and we hear older kids talking, referring to us, they say, "You see that kid? He still believes in Santa Claus." Sooner or later, we find out that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Can you remember your reaction, how you felt when you found out that Santa Claus was not the truth? I don't think your parents had bad intentions. Believing in Santa Claus is a wonderful tradition for millions of people. The lyrics of one song describes what we are told about the symbol of what we know as Santa. You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. We're told that Santa knows everything we do or don't do. He knows whenever we've been bad or when we've been good. He knows when we don't brush our teeth. And we believe this. Christmas comes and we see a huge difference in the gifts that children receive. Let's say you asked Santa for a bicycle and you were good the whole year. Your family is very poor. You open your gifts and you don't receive a bicycle. Your neighbor, who is very bad, and you know what very bad means, receives a bicycle. And you say, I was a good boy, or sorry, I was good, this boy was bad. How come I didn't receive a bicycle? If Santa Claus really knows everything that I do, for sure, he knows everything that my neighbor did. Why would Santa bring a bicycle to my neighbor and not me? It's just not fair, and you don't understand why. Your emotional reaction to envy, anger, and even sadness. You see the other little guy riding his bicycle very happily all around, behaving worse than he did before. And you wanted to go up to you want to go up and hit him or break the bicycle. Injustice. And that sense of injustice becomes you. Let me reread that. And that sense of injustice is because you believe in a lie. It's an innocent lie with no bad intention, of course, but you believe it and you make an agreement with yourself. From now on, I won't be good. I'm going to be bad like my neighbor. Later, you discover that Santa Claus is not the truth. He isn't real, but it's too late. You already released all of the emotional poison. You already suffered the anger, the jealousy, the sadness, and you already suffered from making an agreement that was based on a lie. This is just one example of how we invest our faith in a symbol. There are hundreds, even thousands of symbols, stories, and superstitions that we learn. The symbol of Santa Claus demonstrates how even believing in an innocent lie can bring up emotions that feel like a fire burning inside us. They feel like poison. They're hurting us. They're hurting our body, and we suffer from a story that isn't real. The emotions aren't real. They are part of the truth, but the reason we are feeling them is not real. It's not truth. It's fiction. If you're asking yourself why you're so miserable at times, it's because you're telling yourself a story that isn't true, but you believe it. The truth is that your dreams have become distorted, but that's not good or bad or right or wrong because it's happening to billions of other people. You're not the only other one in that situation, and that's good news. The world of symbols is extremely powerful because we make every symbol powerful with that force that comes from deep inside of us. That force that we call life, faith, or intent. Three prominent things we talk so much about on the show. We don't even realize that it's happening, but together, all of the symbols from the whole structure made by agreements, and we don't really even realize that's happening, but together, all of the symbols form a whole structure made by the agreements, and we call that a belief system. From a single letter to a word, from a single story to an entire philosophy, everything we agree to believe goes into that structure. That belief system gives form and structure to our virtual reality, and with every agreement we make, the structure grows stronger and gains more power until it becomes nearly as rigid as a brick building. If we imagine every symbol, every concept, every agreement as a brick, our faith is that mortar that holds those bricks together. And as we continue to learn throughout our lives, we mix the symbols in many directions, and the concepts interact with themselves to create a more complex concepts. The abstract mind becomes organized into a more complicated way, and the structure keeps growing and growing until we have a totality of everything that we know. That's what we talked about. Our reality is only real to us. The structure of this structure is what the Toltec call human form. The human form is not the form of physical body, it's the form that our mind takes. Remember, we talked about this with trichotomy, the mind, body, and spirit. The human form is not the form of the physical body, it's the form that takes our minds. It's the structure of our beliefs about ourselves, about everything that helps us make sense of our dream. The human form gives us our identity, but it's not the same as the frame of the frame of the dream. The frame of the dream is the material world as it is, which is truth. The human form is the belief system with all the elements of judgment, and everything in that belief system is our personal truth. We judge everything according to those beliefs, and even if those beliefs go against our own inner nature. In the process of domestication, the belief system becomes a book of law that rules our lives. We'll stop right there. What do you guys think about that? It's good stuff. That was really good. That was a good part of the book.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like how they point out how even innocent lies can be harmful, like Santa.
Definitely. It's poison to our bodies, 100%. And our mind, obviously, but our bodies too. Yep.
You know that Santa can see you when you're pooping.
That's why I try to live my life that way. It makes me a better person.
Yeah.
Even jokes like the person in the room may not be anyone in the room offended by the joke, but little by little, those type of jokes will like wear down your empathy and everything else. You know what I mean? And then it's like you become desensitized. You know, and like I said, I mean, nobody in the room's offended, but it could be really, an off-color joke that didn't need to be said.
Yeah.
And it does have damage. Absolutely.
Good point.
It says here in the book, this isn't good or bad or right or wrong. It's just the way it is. It happens to all of us. We're just learning to be a member of a society. And then it goes on to say here, we have no reason to doubt, or no, sorry, I'm reading ahead. But anyway, my point being that we talked about this with the idea of like good and bad and right or wrong with the Aristotle's golden mean, right? It's just kind of concepts that we give into, or names, symbols that we give into these things that happen around us, right? We dictate this is good or this is bad, but really it's just all our reality is behind our own eyes. And the other part on here that I really like and want to highlight on is like, this is where we build that brick of our belief, that building with these bricks by bricks of our beliefs. And that could be good and bad because sometimes you build yourself around where you can't get out and no one can get in. And sometimes you build it where you have a door and access where still you can get out and let people in, right? Sometimes you don't even have a very good structure and then people just intrude in. So there's different ways of looking at this, right? With these different beliefs. That's why you have to look at each individual belief and figure out if you really believe it or not. If it's based on fear or emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. We got a couple more pages before we finish out this chapter. We'll get back to the ideas, symbolism, and Santa Claus. But it's a really good idea, man. I remember whenever my parents told me, because the whole time I'm a real skeptical kid. I'm like thinking that everything's fake. And the whole time I'm like, Santa Claus has got to be fake. Santa Claus has got to be fake. And like, I let people believe whatever they wanted to believe because I knew it was like kind of, even as a kid. But
Yeah,
whenever
it's
my parents
fun.
told me, I still had that feeling of like, wow, I can't believe you would lie like that. Like, and then you have to like reconciliate. You have to go back and grow up. You got to be like, yeah, okay, I see their intentions weren't kind of malice. That's what they were mentioned in the book. Yeah, I do remember that feeling though. It's kind of a weird, bizarre feeling that it's really hard to replicate.
Betrayal. The betrayal is real.
The betrayal, dude. How could you do this to me, mom and dad? Out of everyone I know, it's just
Now I have
crazy how you do this.
theory.
And then they get to a certain point where you're getting older and they're concerned because it's like, wow, you still believe in Santa. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a weird thing for me. It's a weird thing for me. I think that there's magic in the world that we don't necessarily have to fib against our kids. Me personally, it's however you want to raise your kids. But me personally, I don't think I would raise my kids with the idea of Santa. But, creates a unique life, unique perspective. It's how I was raised. So, yeah, it's cool. It's magic, I think. Like the unknown of the world.
Would certainly be a lot more affordable. Yeah, the tooth fairy's fake too. There's no Easter bunny.
Well, you still do kind things for your kids. That's what I'm saying, though. You don't have to do it under the principle of like I'm getting it for this guy. It's like you just do kind things for them and then show them the magic of the world around you. It's complicated. I'm not a parent, but it's just kind of like my concept of being a parent.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
Sasquatch. At least Sasquatch is still real. That's good.
Hanging out with Loch Ness.
Yeah. At least we still got them.
Let's do. You want to do your mushroom?
Sure. Yeah,
Do
let's see.
nerdy guess that
Show me what-
mushroom.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
Switch back. Okay, so you have. No, hold on. I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. You got the Boletus Edulus.
Yes, 100%. You want to guess what state it's from?
Oregon.
Nope, we already done Oregon. I'll go ahead and go through the states that we've done.
Okay.
We just did Oregon last week. So we had California, Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, Oregon, Texas. And now there's 2 more states we have left on our list of official state mushrooms. We're on the west, though. On the west coast, I'll give you that.
I'm gonna have to look up.
Go ahead.
Like,
Do what you
what
gotta do.
states? Like what
If you
states
guys in
are
this-
there? What state? How many states have mushrooms?
So there's 7 official ones. No, 8. And then we've gone through 6 of them. If you guys in the comments want to guess, feel free.
Okay. I'm gonna
You can guess what official state
say-
mushroom is.
How about Washington? You already did Washington.
No. Nope, we didn't do Washington, but it's not Washington. It was surprising they don't have one for Washington, but no, a little far away.
Okay. We already
cold.
did.
We're west of Colorado, just west of Colorado, as a matter of fact.
Utah.
Yes, sir.
All
Montana, good guess. Yep.
right. Okay. But yeah, Boletus Edulus. That's like
Edulus.
the porcini that most people are after. In Colorado, we do not have that one. We have Boletus rubriceps, which in all of the books it lists it as Boletus Edulus, but it's actually Boletus rubriceps here. It's ours is more red on top. It's more ruby.
Do you think it's because it grows in a more desert climate? What is the deal with it? Okay.
No idea. I guess here it's probably more got to do with the elevation. The mushrooms we have here, the ones like out in Lost Creek and things like that, where I find all my cool stuff. It's mostly about elevation because we have some stuff that's like grows in Mexico, and I also found it here. But in Mexico, it only grows in the mountains. So it's
Okay.
very, very dependent on individual microclimates and elevations and
Exactly.
things like that. There's
So let me read a little bit of what I got here. It says penny buns are mycorrhizal, forming symbiotic relationships with the roots of trees like oak, pine, beech, and spruce. And they fruit primarily in late summer and autumn, often appearing in warm, rainy periods after in temperate forests. So it's interesting. It says the mushroom is highly sought after for its savory umami profile and its delicious fresh sauteed in butter or grilled. And it's also exceptionally, I cannot talk today, exceptionally popular dried, as the drying process intensely concentrates its earthy flavors. So we can make a seasoning blend out of that too. We all experiment with that.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
But it does mention there's a couple Boletus lookalikes that can be toxic. So, you know,
Yeah, the
know
devil's
yourself.
belief.
Keep in mind.
Be
Yep, you're
careful.
exactly right. Yeah. Satan's Bolete. Yeah.
It'll get you.
Very good stuff.
It's got red pores. It's pretty easy to spot.
Very good. Now let's do an herb real fast.
That was a fun one.
Very fun one. Yeah, we got one more to knock off our list. I know we're doing some easy ones, but we're doing the official ones. You know, we'll get to some more obscure ones later. As far as I'm concerned, the Devil Star is a pretty obscure and rare mushroom. So yeah, pretty cool, dude. What you're looking at right here is, maybe you can guess it. Do you know this one?
Is it goldenrod?
It is goldenrod. Great guess, man. Yeah, there's a couple different variations of this. But yeah, this is a really super great herb. Personally, I use it for coughs and colds, especially for allergies and stuff this time of year. It is a great herb to use. It has a lot of the same active um, ingredients in it that honey is beneficial for. So it's great to make teas out of. Here's some of the different benefits of it and some of the ways you can use it. Just read over this real fast for yourselves. It's really great that it's one of the second herb that I ever really found and discovered was this herb right here, and it's one that I keep in my repertoire to this day still. You just take the tops of the leaves and you can use them to brew tea. You can dry them out and use them to brew tea. You can make tinctures and capsules and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's another natural herb. It grows this time of year.
Grows in Colorado.
Certain parts of the world. So, yeah, 100%. So it grows mostly all over the U.S. I'm aware of. Keep an eye out for it. If you see it, it's a very easy plant to recognize. There are tons of plant apps that you can take pictures of to help identify. But when you identify it, there's your chart to see what the benefits are.
Really good one.
Good stuff. One of my favorite herbs. One of my favorite flowers. Nice little thing to add into your garden because it's like pollen attractor for bees and stuff like that. Hummingbirds. So yeah.
Is it invasive?
Not that I'm aware. I'm fairly certain. I don't want to talk out of pocket though. I should look that up.
Not in Colorado.
I don't believe so. Goldenrod is highly aggressive and opportunistic, but it's considered a native in North America, not invasive. However, in Europe and Asia, it is highly invasive species. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. It's native, but it grows like it's invasive. If it was from a different place, they would consider it invasive. So yeah, it's a weird kind of gray area with that kind of stuff. But yeah, great question.
Like milkweed.
Appreciate everybody being here.
Butterflies love milkweed, but that's like invasive. Farmers will go around and pull that wherever they see it popping up in their pastures and stuff.
Definitely. Yeah.
And they're releasing pods.
Same thing with thistles too. I think they're pretty invasive.
Okay.
Oh, I got them goat heads all over. Those things are. Oh.
It's something I don't pay too much attention to because as long as I'm ethically harvesting, the way that I'm looking at it is like if it's invasive and I'm harvesting it, then I'm just doing a favor. But if it's native and I'm harvesting it, I'm still harvesting it ethically. So I like try to keep that balance without like knowing. But yeah, it'd be nice to know. I always say you're never better for not knowing. I think it's pretty good to know because you can take advantage and harvest fully if you know the ones that are invasive for sure.
You can also check with the U.S. Forest Service and pay a $20 fee and make sure that you're being legal about it.
Okay, sweet.
It's just something I have been looking into is actually getting permission to remove things from the forest from the U.S. Forest Service, and there's permits for it. It's just like removing firewood. but for plants and mushrooms.
Okay. Well, hell here. Let us go on to the Tibetan Book of the Dead. If you want, we'll take a couple minutes to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm down to learn something.
It's pretty cool. I like your attitude, man. Yeah, I think you'll like this. I have this up on the screen. You guys can look over this while I'm basically just going to read a summary of what's here on the screen. The Bardo Thadal, also known as in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is a revered funerary text from the Ningwa. Oh, I'm not pronouncing this right. The Nyingma school of Tibetan Buddhism. Probably not like butchering these names. I was just saying earlier, these foreign words are really hard for me to pronounce. But this is essentially the same concept as the Egyptian Book of the Dead that we talked about, but for Tibetan Buddhism. Revealed in the 14th century, it belongs to a larger corpus of teachings known as the profound Dharma of self-liberation. You guys gotta pardon me here for a minute. It is known as the profound Dharma of self-liberation through the intention of peaceful and wrathful ones. Okay. The text is traditionally read aloud to the dying or recently deceased to guide them through the bardo. There's 3 different levels of the bardo we'll talk about. The intermediate transitional state between death and rebirth. And its ultimate goal is to help the consciousness recognize the clear light of reality, achieve enlightenment, and escape the cycle of reincarnation. Their idea is that we're here because we are here to learn lessons, and to break out of that cycle, we learn those lessons and move on. The 3 bardos that you're looking at here are the Chikha bardo, the moment of death, where deceased experiences the clear light of reality. The initial stage where consciousness dissolves and a person experiences the brilliant clear light or luminosity of reality. Recognizing this light can lead to immediate spiritual liberation. This is why people who have near-death experiences come back with that kind of clear light of reality, with a total awakening. Psychedelics can do this as well. We'll talk a little bit about that too. The Chanyad Baro, the karmic state of experiencing hallucinations and encountering peaceful and wrathful deities. A transitional phase where the deceased encounter intense visions of auditory phenomenon, including various peaceful and wrathful deities, which represent the pure nature of the mind. And we'll show one here in a minute. The state of becoming karmically driven towards a specific rebirth is the Sidpa Bardo. The Sidpa Bardo is the final stage of transition where karmic forces weigh a person's actions, like we talked about in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and the consciousness is drawn towards one of the 6 realms of rebirth. That's what is a little bit different in variation there. Here is one of the quote-unquote spiritual deities here. And I forget his name, but it's at the bottom if you guys want to butcher it yourselves, so let me do it for you. But this is in Buddhism known.
Baklava Chakra.
Yeah, I think you're very right. Yes, sir.
Bhava Chakra.
Well, go ahead and just read that at the bottom if you don't mind.
The Bhava Chakra is the Tibetan Buddhist representation of the wheel of life or cycle of existence.
Definitely. And then
Bhava Chakra.
Yeah. And he is what's in us as our anger, our hatred, our fear, everything that's inside of us that's scary. And that's why he's represented as scary. But he's not your enemy. He's your friend. And that's why he's represented that way. Because it's just like the things inside of us are kind of difficult to look at sometimes, right? But they're in the end the things that we can learn from the most. Our demons, our skeletons, whatever analogy that you'd like to use. Let's switch over to what I was saying about Carl Jung. Carl Jung was deeply fascinated by the Tibetan Book of the Dead, calling it his constant companion and credited it with many of his fundamental insights into the human psyche. He authored an extensive psychological commentary for the first German translation of the book, which was later included in the widely read Eastern editions. Rather than viewing the text as literal geological or geographical guide to the afterlife, Jung interpreted it as a profound psychological map of the unconscious mind. That's typically the way I like to look at it, but let's just give you his insights here.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I had no idea that that's where he got his inspiration from.
A lot of it, right? So, if you guys aren't familiar with him, we'll talk a little bit about him here. In the text, a deceased person's consciousness encounters 42 peaceful and 48 wrathful deities. Jung asserted that these are not external spiritual entities, but rather personified projections of the human psyche. He mapped them directly onto the concepts of the shadow, the animals, and the collective unconscious. Karma as the collective unconscious. Jung famously equated the Buddhist concept of karma and the accumulated psyche imprints that dedicate rebirth with his own concept of the conscious and collective unconscious. He believed that both represented a shared inherited psychic inheritance that shapes how humans perspective or perceive reality. And this is what we kind of were just talking about a couple days ago, about how our reality only exists to us. Jung pointed out that the Bardo thought all is meant to be read in reverse order for the living. While a dying person starts at the highest state of enlightenment and slowly descends into the physical rebirth, a living person undergoing psychological growth must do the opposite. They must start at the bottom, ego identity, and journey backward into the deeper collective layers of the mind to achieve wholeness. The text opens at the moment of death, and with the manifestation of the Chikha Bardo, its pure light, or the pure light. Jung aligned this to the state of which absolute foundation of the mind, echoing his psychological belief that the creative ground for all metaphysical assertion is consciousness itself. And then let's start. I wanted to bring this up too. This is some critical context to keep in mind. While Jung praised the text as surpassing Western intellectual disciplines, contemporary scholars point out that a key limitation. Jung wrote his commentary based on an early, deeply flawed Western translation. He did not speak Tibetan and filtered the text heavily through his own Western psychoanalytic lens. Because of this, his commentary sometimes emphasizes individual psychology over the traditional communal, ritual, and esoteric intentions of Buddhism. So that's I kind of like it. It's something to keep in mind that he didn't study this. It was just his psychological interpretation. Jung believed that the Bardo, the intermediate stage between death and rebirth, is identical to what happens whenever a person experiences a dream, a psychedelic state, or a dream state, a psychedelic trip, or a psychological breakdown. These are some of the examples of whenever people have these experiences. In all of these states, the conscious ego loses control and floodgates the unconscious mind swings wide open. In the Tibetan tradition, the dead person is confronted by terrifying demons and beautiful deities. The text repeatedly warns the soul, do not be afraid. These are only reflections of your own mind. Very much what happens in a psychedelic experience. Wouldn't you guys agree? Like whenever people are having these tough experiences, it's like parts of your ego, your parts of your,
absolutely
jealousy, your envy, your greed, your hatred.
It's your conscience. Man. Yeah. Collectively, 100%. I consider it your conscience. But those are all like different angles of your conscience.
100%. It says here, when we refuse to face our internal fears or our shadow, our mind projects them outward, making them look like external monsters or enemies. This is why people act out in hatred and envy and greed and all of these different despair and different emotions that you can name. And then remember that scale slides. There's always two ends of the spectrum, and then somewhere in the middle of that scale slides, right? While these texts describe a soul as it describes a soul descending into a physical womb to be reborn, Jung looked at this metaphorically for the living. He used it to explain individualization, his process for psychological healing and wholeness. To Jung, rebirth happens when you successfully confront your unconscious fears, integrate your hidden traits, and return to daily life as a wiser, more complete version of yourself. The highest state of the Tibetan book is the clear light, which represents ultimate enlightenment. The text teaches that you are the light. Jung deeply agreed with this, stating that the ultimate source of all religion, gods, and metaphysics is not something external in the sky, but the creative power of the human consciousness itself. That's beautiful because that means that it could be whatever we want it to be, right? Matches to however we feel or whatever we need in our life to learn from. Super great.
Pretty much
I think
how I was looking at it in my mind before. With
everything that we
taking
kind of
right.
stand for, 100%. Much time? I still got some time. Cool. Let's just break them down a little bit here. The Chika Bardo, the experience, the goal, and the duration. We'll break these down in three different things here. The experience, this phase begins the moment physical life functions cease. The physical senses dissolve and the unconsciousness encounters the primary clear light, as we talked about, the ultimate unconditioned nature of reality, what reality really is that we can't see with our eyes. So the goal is total liberation. If the dying person can recognize this brilliant light as their own true mind, they can break free the cycle of rebirth instantly. It is said to last anywhere from a few moments to a few days, depending on the individual's spiritual training. The second Bardo is if a person fails to recognize the clear light, their consciousness awakens and to a dreamlike state, like realm of vivid visions, and they will see radiant, peaceful deities and terrifying, wrathful monsters. The lesson, the text emphasizes that these deities are not real external gods or demons. They are hallucinations and psychological projections of the person's mind and past karma.
Past karma. Yes.
The third Bardo here says that the final stage is where the drive to be reborn takes over. The consciousness begins to see visions of couples mating and feels a strong pull towards a specific womb. The person's past karma dictates which of these 6 realms of existence, ranging from heavenly realms to animal or hell realms, they feel drawn to. Womb blocking. The text teaches that the consciousness how to close the entrance to inferior wombs through meditation, or how to deliberately choose a human rebirth that offers the best chance to practice spiritual enlightenment in the next life. And who knows if that's really real, but I like to think that that's cool. Like that's a cool way to look at life, right? And we're here just kind of doing these lessons. Yeah, the Tibetan Book of the Dead. The Tibetan Book of the Dead. Lord, I don't know I'm going through a stroke right now or something, my guys. I even took a nap before the show. I can't talk. Yeah, but the Tibetan Book of the Dead is really cool, dude. I like it. Has a lot to learn from it, man. It's really cool stuff. It's a different way to look at it.
I hear a lot of Alan Watts similarity. If you listen, he's basically, I think he was a big fan, and I don't know, but the teachings are the same. Just Alan Watts has a more charismatic spin and way of presenting things.
Exactly, he delivered it really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, I like it, man. I think it's something that's a unique way to look at life. Like, it's still got that scale at the end of life. Like, I might come back as a fucking cockroach if I treat people like shit. Might need to think about how I treat people, and I might not come back as a king, right? That's not what it's necessarily insinuating, because that's not the lessons we need to learn, the spiritual lessons we need, or maybe it is, right? But at the end of the day, it's like you're going to get a better experience. What's better for you? It's hard to complain with life, in general. I don't know about you guys, but I have hard days and hard times and moments that are fucking exhilarating and exhausting and all the things that can be intense at times, but it wouldn't like make me trade it out for something different. Or, I always think I'm one of those mindsets like, could be worse, dude. Definitely could be worse.
I don't subscribe to reincarnation, but I can see it being a possibility. Like if you had an incomplete life, or if you had a failure of a life, then I think you would get another shot. Like that.
I'll try it again, man.
Just like if you fail in school, if you get an incomplete in school, you got to do it again. You fail in school, you got to do it again. You know what I mean? And I think maybe that could be a possibility, but that's not really something I subscribe to. Even though there's a lot of proof out there of people coming back, and being reincarnated. I just watched a video yesterday of a little boy that started telling his parents, I had a shop and I was married and I had 2 kids and I was murdered. And then he said, I know who did it. So then, after enough, the parents, they were fed up and they brought him to the town and everything. And he said, that's my wife. And he started talking to her. And then she said, she started, kind of going along with it. And he's like, I know who killed me. And then the man that he accused was questioned by the police. And not long after, he turned himself in after being confronted with that kid
Makes you
saying
think, dude.
so. That's a wild story, but
Wild story.
It does check out. It's not fake. It's not a fake story.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't necessarily.
That's interesting.
I don't subscribe. I've never subscribed to reincarnation before either, but there are a few people that like a few convincing stories like that I've come across, and I'm like, well, that certainly is interesting. That's hard
Yeah.
to explain.
Yeah.
It's unique, dude.
But yeah, that's not necessarily one of the foundations of my beliefs. But hey, I'm open-minded. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, but practice my fifth. Yeah, I just practice my fifth, dude.
Yeah.
Claim the fifth
Skeptical, but
agreement.
I definitely learned to listen. I'm here to listen to your story and see what's up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a unique perspective, and I think the way Young puts a twist on it is super unique as well. But yeah, how it highlights. There's a few different people, such as Alan Watts, like Derek mentioned, and Young, that were into this concept of the Tibetan Book of the Dead to influence the way they live their life, in a spiritual, enlightening way. And I think it helps, dude. Well, got a couple minutes left. What you guys want to do while you're hanging out?
Oh, I got a nice new book for my birthday. It came in the mail today.
Go and show it off, dude.
I'm super excited about this one. Fungal Pharmacy.
Nice.
I get to know
Flip
about
it open and let's see what's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Flip up to a random page and let's just see what's in it.
It actually talks about a lot of different ways of extracting specific mushrooms and things like that.
Very cool.
One of the ones I thought was interesting was, actually, I just pulled it open to the page. Right here, essential oils of Clitosabe odora, which it smells like anise or black licorice. And I've been wanting to try to figure out how to cultivate this mushroom so that I can try to use it in like making cookies or something like that, because I like black licorice.
Sick,
But
dude.
this
Me
right
too.
here, it says essential oil. It says the hydro-distilled Clitosabe odora essential oil, and it tells you what percent of anal disaldehyde, of all the percentages of all the chemicals in it when you create a hydro-distilled
Yeah.
essential oil from it. And I've got
That's
the
the
kit.
terpene.
I could do that. I just need the mushrooms.
Freaking cool, dude.
But yeah, this book is really, really cool. I'm excited to flip through it. It's like a recipe. Ooh, that's a good mushroom right there. This is one I know. I've got one right here on my shelf. It's Gleophyllum separium. I love this mushroom. It's called the conifer maize gill.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yes.
Yeah, it's a dyer's mushroom, and I've done those distillations and extracts out of it, and I think it smells kind of like cherry. It's not a poisonous mushroom in any way. And now I have this book, I can actually look at it and see what's inside it, and like what kind of medicinal properties does it have? What can I use it for
Nice.
outside of? I would love to use it as a flavoring, and also a dye like I use for your T-shirt.
Yeah. You guys didn't catch that at the beginning of the show?
So I have a jar of lichen that I've been brewing for since last year. I'll go grab it. Just one sec.
Appreciate everybody tonight. Derek, what you get into later, buddy? So you're going to a festival or something?
No. There's a couple dispensaries down the street. I'm gonna go check out.
Oh, cool. Sweet, dude. Cali, baby.
Yeah.
Tell them I said sup. They know me.
So
They get to know me from here.
with the mushroom extracts for doing the dyes and stuff, all you gotta do is do a water extraction. You just boil it and then use it as
Nice.
a dye. But for some of the lichens, like this one, this is it's called Evernia. It's a reindeer lichen. You can do two ways. You can either do the water extraction like you would a regular mushroom, and that'll give you like a yellow. Or if you let it ferment over several months and you keep shaking it up and like you introduce air into it, but it's a 25% ammonia solution. So I went to the dollar store, I got some ammonia, diluted it down to 25%, and I added this specific kind of lichen, and now it's turned purple. I don't know if you can see it here.
Yeah, it kind of does look like grape juice.
It looks like grape juice or wine. So
Neat, dude.
I converted it with the ammonia and the fermentation.
Learn
So
something new every day here on Mystics, baby.
I'll be dyeing some new T-shirts with that one, and I can't wait because I've been working on that one since last year. So this is an old Viking technique that they would actually use. They'd put the lichen in a bunch of these pots, and then they'd pee on it. That's where they got their ammonia from. So after
Freaks.
yeah.
Freaks.
So that's one of the ways they got red. Different
Derek
lichens
told me
will
not
give
to
you
yuck
different
anybody's
colors.
yum. He's right. He's right.
But yeah, so they would just pee on it. But like when I open this jar to clear it out, oh my god, it stinks.
Oh,
High heaven. It smells like someone was peeing in a jar. It's
no
just
way.
not that I've ever done that. Oh yeah. Happy 3rd of July, everybody. I hope everybody has a responsible 4th and 3rd. And man, I've already hear some fireworks going off outside, but it's really windy, so I think it's stopping a lot of people.
Yeah. So I went ahead and gave a warning today to people if you're in Colorado, don't even think about setting a firework off. Just go and watch that video of people shooting fireworks or something. I'm sure there's tons of live streams you can check out.
Yeah.
No fireworks in Colorado for sure. We already have enough problems.
Yeah, let me think. There was something else. It's Friday. You know, I've had a long week. I'm looking forward to having a nice, relaxing weekend. I might go out somewhere and cook some hot dogs or something out of the park. You know, get some charcoal, make it taste good. Get some of those good beef hot dogs.
You know what's up, man. You know how we do.
Yeah.
I got some Chinese food when I got here. I was at home and I seen a video on IG of this restaurant, and you know, like they could barely close a container. They put so much stuff in there. And so I looked up the address, and it's just 5 minutes down the street from here.
Heck
So
yeah!
like,
What a wild world you're living in, Derek, right now.
Right. I got dropped off. The Uber dropped me off at the house here, and then I was like, I put my stuff down. I was like, I gotta go get a plate. So I went and got a plate, and it was pretty good. It was like $15, but it was a ton of food. So
Love it, dude.
yeah, I don't
What'd you get?
have to spend another $1 on food really for days. You know what I mean? It's like that much.
Heck yeah. What'd you get?
I got lo mein and
My favorite.
chicken wings, but they call it fried chicken. And
Chicken
honey
wings.
and honey chicken. Yeah. Oh, and
Nice.
see, I could have got lo mein and rice, or I said can't think of the name of the vegetables. I don't know. It was mixed vegetables in lo mein, and it was really good. But that's funny though, because like I never heard of Bruce's Beach before, and then I watched the video. Like I was scrolling on IG, and then
Universe takes us where we want to go.
I seen a video on Bruce's Beach, and then it was like not even 2 weeks later I was there. Never heard of it before that, you know what I mean? And it was like, and I, you know, after I realized I was like, wow, I wanted to visit this place. I wanted to see it. And I had no idea that this is the beach that I was going to. You know what I mean? Um, it was a surf spot, and that's where they do surfing lessons and stuff like that. And that was just it was like, yeah, the universe takes you. I mean, that
Yep,
was
wherever you need to go.
mm,
It's out of our control, dude. Learn to do
yeah.
anything about life.
So I
That's what I don't
wonder
know about reincarnation, but that's one thing I'm sure of.
mm, where it's going to take me on the way back from here to there. It's because I really don't have it planned, don't have it mapped. Like
Cool.
kind of just head and
Best
knees.
way.
So yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of here so we can let you go be free for the night and have some fun, man. That was a great episode.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoy your sports. Come back with all your digits. No fireworks. Like dangerous
Definitely.
fireworks. Practice safety.
You're taking
Be
tomorrow
safe.
off, right? Oh, wait, it's Friday. Never mind. I'm
Right,
thinking it's
yeah.
Monday. I don't know what the hell my days are.
I'm
But
taking
yeah,
tomorrow off.
I'll be
Yeah,
back for riffing tomorrow.
We have next week off. We have next week off, everyone. So
Exactly right. So that's what I was going to mention.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll
might
do
go-
riffing tomorrow. We're going to cover Nirvana, and then we'll take the whole week off. Give everybody a break. We want you guys to go out and do some foraging, get in nature, go camping, do something fun. So we're encouraging people to do.
burn some marshmallows.
Yes. Make some marshmallows, then burn them.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
If you need a recipe, reach out to me. I'm happy to hook you up.
And if you need anything else, reach out anyway. So
Yep.
messagechurch.org, Discord, and blah, 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 blah. You guys know. Cool.
And
See you guys
enjoy the
later. Have a great night.
Love y'all.
Bye.
We stepping slow at dawn, mystic journeys on the door. Boots still muddy from the trail. We bring the woods inside the floor. Woven baskets by the bench, sage and yarrow in the air. Old hands pass a soft-born truth like firelight we learn to share. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take it all to heart. Don't make a spell of what you see. We begin where we are. Mystic journeys hold us close. Mystic journeys. cracked out laughs, the kind that make you able. Ancient wisdom in the stew, in the herb jars, in our